In the 2018 USC Anniesburg commencement, keynote speaker Oprah Winfrey provided the graduates with this mantra: be the truth. Hello, my name is Yolanda Tremble. I would like to thank you for taking the time to spend with me to learn 5 best practices for communicating. As we move forward as the experts in our fields, we will be accountable for participating in various work groups. These collaborative teams will challenge our philosophy of our subject matter, along with our curriculum methods. These types of situations could occur in many different forms of delivery, such as one-on-one, group conversations, web conversations, emails, IMs, texts, and so on. Now, with that being said, there are times when disagreements will be reached. And due to zealous emotions, sometimes the best solution will be to agree to disagree and resume the conversation at a later time. For those times when tough engagements must occur, it's vital that we come equipped to address such situations in a respectable manner and with poise. The techniques that I will share will assist in the delivery of various types of messaging, both verbal and nonverbal. It is important to be able to effectively communicate your point of view while at the same time diffusing any difficult or complex situations as a way to keep the collaborative effort moving forward. So how do we do that? We do that by having routine solutions that allow checkpoints for behaviorals and still produce a rewarding effort for all parties involved. It's just a matter of being able to know what to say and how to say it. The best practices that I will be sharing will be 1, interpersonal skill, 2, the act of listening, 3, fact-finding, and 4, presenting. For the receiver, these 6 components of the interpersonal skill sets are communication, leadership, negotiation, influence, motivation, and problem solving. These skills have a direct link to listening and believing the factual information that's being presented. The way that we establish interpersonal skills is a daily process. It doesn't happen overnight in a work group because it's about developing trusting relationships. Now, I would like to share my own personal work group philosophy. We must keep in mind that the expectation of the receiver allows us to format the communication in a way that is acceptable, keeping the notion that having an acceptable answer doesn't mean that you agree with it. It just means that it's tolerable to digest. Sharing untruths and hiding information from work groups can create discordant amongst the group and will result in negative outcomes such as team members being disrespectful. In other words, the receiver will disengage and then the connection to persuade will be lost. Now, before I begin to explain the second best practice, listening and fact-finding, the one important detail is that the responsibility of the communicator is to ensure that the information that's shared be relatable, accurate, and also they must be transparent. According to the International Listening Association, the act of listening is the process of receiving and constructing meaningful information along with responding either verbally or nonverbal. There are 2 input factors that are required before any learning can take place. These input factors are receiving and constructing the information. Both requires active and engaged participants that work together as a unit. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the communicators should be a model for respectable behavior. Showing respect shows others how to give respect. In a multicultural society, participating in work groups means that there will be a rainbow of different nationalities who will have different backgrounds and experience. So not to disrupt the efforts, it is critical that we remain respectful and avoid practicing exclusive acts of behavior. Now for the final best practice. Presenting ties into all of the 6 interpersonal skill sets, and perhaps the most important of them all is influence. How do we influence thinkers? We do that by structuring our information in such a way that is logical and conceivable. The steps to do this is by organizing the information into patterns and steps. Putting together some responses to predetermined questions will help convey our point of view more effectively and efficiently. This concludes my presentation for best practices. Thank you for listening.